What's up guys, this is Coach Donny from Elevate Yourself. In this video, I'll be analyzing one of our games versus Riptide from the VLA Western Cup 2024 tournament. That was particularly exciting. Many of you have been asking me for a long time to analyze my own team's game's performance. So we'll start from the end of the first set where I feel like our team has pretty good control of the game. Even though the score is pretty close, we were siding out well, winning most of the long rallies, and didn't really feel too anxious. Now, some prior context, this whole tournament, I didn't feel like I was playing as well as I could. My jump serve fell off, which is usually one of my better skills, and I just could not hit in, especially on this day, to save my life. So I'm already not playing as well as I could, and I just didn't feel like I was in tune with my body. So here we go. So 21-18 here. Yeah, so we get some good blocks, and this is where we start to run away with the game. That's a good pickup there by Brandt. Transition opportunity, and Sean's just crushing it. Like, he's just got such a heavy arm. Our outside hitter number 4. I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", so good size. Yeah, so we're just flowing passing-wise, and Tien, our setter, had a really good connection with our middle, so I highly recommend watching all the other games from this tournament. Like, even on this play, even though we got waterfalled, like, we're still getting a double block, still getting good touch, and we already got game point there. Yeah, and then they serve out. So we're feeling pretty good going into the second set. All right, the start of the second set. Tough serve. Oh, man. And, you know, this play right here was so frustrating. These digs are actually a little bit, like, pretty easy for me. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but when someone's not hitting 100%, like, the block slowed it down. So I'm reading his shoulder. I'm already shifting to the left. So I have a good read on it. And even though I'm falling with one arm, like, I feel like I generally get these up because they're not blasting. It's just a good high, deep swing. I'm just so frustrated at myself. This happens actually more often than not. So usually before the serves, we call each other seams. And looks like Brandt wants to take my short seam here, and I'll cover his deep. So that's why he's kind of cheating up a little bit. And Brandt always fakes me out. So he kind of goes for it. He realizes deeper. You see how his hands are raised? So I think Brandt's actually going to pass the ball. So he kind of fakes me out, and that's why I'm like, holy crap. But there's so many games where you'll see, if you watch us like the last couple years playing together, Brandt's really good at faking me out. Wow, that was an athletic up by Jason here. Yeah, so Jason's left hand are opposite, and he's able to get this with his right arm, and that's in play falling away. So great hustle play there. Oh, and a great dig from Brandt. We got to watch this one in slow motion here. So it's a good funnel from Jason. Now this is what I call lefty on lefty crime, because we have number 3, our opposite, blocking their left hand opposite there. So he blocks just enough to take away, and he has to hit perfect line. Brandt just sticks his hand out, very balanced, and he's shanking the ball into the court. And gets a pretty hittable play from Sean. So great out of system play from Sean there. That's a great hustle. Yeah, and this one we're just scrapping it up. So we're starting this game still in that momentum from that first set there. And another wicked one-handed dig from Brandt. Those are tough. A little bit wide and tight. Can you save that one? Yeah, my passing, I feel like I was passing decently well at this tournament, which at least I had that going. And Jason's crushing it, getting good touches. So right here, Tien gives us set away a little bit early, but it doesn't matter because the middle was following him, and Tien's just athletic enough to side set it all the way to Jason with so much court to hit in. And with Jason, you guys see how physical he is. When you give this guy that much court, he's going to put it away. Oh, and you know, there's one skill that I was doing okay at this tournament was blocking, which is ironic. I got 1 stuff block per match, which is pretty good for me. Usually I only get 1 per tournament, especially at VLA where the hitters are so big. That one I should have just jammed it a little bit more forward. Okay, not the best pass. Luckily our setters really fast and athletic. Oh, see, this is where it starts to... I was not hitting well all of that first set, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I could try to take another swing, and Tien does such a our setter Tien does a great back set, puts it right on the money, and I just let it drop too low, so I'm a little too far away from the ball there. And I knew it. I just feel bad because Tien was setting me really well on this last, and he goes back to me again, and then I hit out again, but I love that Tien's not afraid to go back to me. Struggling with a little bit of serve receive, and this is why serve receive is so important. We start to lose some of that momentum. So it's a good 2-point pass from Sean, and when you're in trouble, you just set Jason. But they get a kind of lucky play off the roof. Oh, that was a hammer there. And Jason's a little streaky. When it's in, it's usually an ace, but it's kind of 50%, which we're willing to take there. So at that point, I know I'm not hitting well. Usually I would, go for those, but I'm just not making good contact. This was a terrible call from the down ref. They called 4 touches on that, and it's very obvious that the block actually touched. And it's not just me saying because I had the benefit of slow motion. I mean, credit to this down ref. He actually is watching the block. Just didn't make a good call. I mean, look how it deflects up and off the block, and he signals 4. So, like, already that call's not going to our way. This funny thing about Jason, I like playing with him because he's really competitive, but he just does some goofy stuff. Watch him here. See, I just does like a Mario lift jump. All right, so a cover. Oh, even that one is just a little tight on that pass there. And then I get blocked. So one thing I'm starting to get really frustrated at myself is that's 3 points that I caused my team. One was that line hit into the net. Then I try to overcorrect and try to hit at least over, then it goes out. And now I get blocked on a very good set. So I just feel like I'm letting my team down. So I got to find other ways to contribute. And then this just kind of keeps the string of errors here. 4-11. And Jason usually, and he was on fire this tournament, so for him to make an uncharacteristic hitting error against a single block, this is where my own performance, like look at this is barely half a block, but he hits into the net, and prior to that, Sean hits into the net, and I feel like even more guilty because I feel like I'm the one that started the steamroll of errors. And that's why it's important to realize that how you play impacts the people around you. I know that sounds pretty obvious, but it's not just whether you make errors or not, but I think I felt myself getting more and more frustrated and kind of shying away from the team. What I should have done is as soon as I make an error, I should have given even more energy to the team, keep them positive, keep encouraging other people so that my performance doesn't affect my teammates. I remember I wasn't as engaged in this one because I was just so frustrated at myself. Good pass. Oh, but Jason barely squeaks through, so we got a little lucky with that one. Luckily we get out. Now you notice that I switch right to a jump float, and usually, you guys have been watching me for a long time, I love jump serving. Even if I don't get an ace, I usually serve like 2 or 3 points total every time I go around because I throw them out of system or I put our team in a better rhythm. But I feel like my jump serve was 30% out, and if I'm not getting a lot of aces, that's not a good ratio. And so we're 5-12. I mean, look at the score. We're 7 points behind. They're more than doubling ours. We have a lot of bad momentum. I have to switch my mindset. If I'm not hitting well and my passing is like okay, I have to give my team opportunities to play. I can't keep ending the play. So I switched to a jump float, which I know I can hit in, so at least I can give my team a chance to do something constructive versus me dictating the play. So that's why I switched to a jump float here. 5-12. Okay, so that's a great example of where Brendan comes and just because I serve it in or keep it in play, I give Brendan a chance to block. So we score 1 point there. Now I feel a little bit more confident in my jump float, putting some heat. Okay, at least we're touching it. And Brendan was playing really well this tournament. Pretty good pass from Sean. And now we're back in rhythm. Good swing from Jason there. All right, so they got their own lefty magic. Still 6-14, so still a big deficit that we're trying to come back from. Oh, that was a great block here. So this is a really good move from the outside from Riptide. He's trying to tool the block on a tight set. You see how he uses right. He's trying to look how much direction he's trying to tool, but Tien does a good job turning his hand back into the court so he doesn't get tooled. Oh, does he get it? Well, let's see what the ref calls. I forgot. Okay, so the ref finally makes the right call. Oh my gosh, don't tell me they don't call this one down. So this is where I start to get a little frustrated at the refs, because they made a couple bad calls in the first set, but the down ref made that bad call off the touch. And this one is so obviously on the ground, and I know sometimes we get the benefit of replay. Ah, shoot, I'm blocking the ball, but look how the ball just bounces up. Look at the player on the floor. He's saying it's on the floor, so shout out to this player here. He's tapping the floor saying it was on the ground, and no one's getting up because they knew it hit the ground. The line ref, you know, the other line judge, both line judges, and the down ref, no one's watching it. Trying to refocus on not being distracted by the refs. That was a great serve from Brendan. Even better pass from Riptide. So the power of serving in, now, you know, Riptide's starting to make some errors. Wipe again, get an easy dig, and Sean with the big put away there. And Brendan's just on a serving run. Now Riptide, so here's the interesting thing about serving quote-unquote tough. This is Brendan's third serve, and even though they're actually passing all these tough serves pretty well, look at that, it's right on the money. I have this theory where this is something that can't be statted. Even if they pass it perfectly, if you're serving your second or third serve in a row, that means something good is happening that we're not able to track. Either we're getting a block on side out, maybe they make a hitting error on a good set, whatever it is. But when you have a tough serve, I feel like that helps your team get into an even more aggressive mindset. You can feel when like there's, oh, that was a good serve, and it kind of hyper focuses people. So that's really interesting here that Brendan served 3 balls in a row. Even though they passed 3 perfect passes, somehow we are still finding ways to convert. Yeah, and they end up hitting out. I think this is Brendan's 4th serve. Oh, and he gets an ace, right? We only usually think of aces as a good serve, but no, just serving in is tough. Oh, Brendan stepping in. Smart play from Sean, just keeping in play on a tough set. And a critical dig from the middle. Brendan, my boy. Wow, that was a good line turn just out. All right, so now it's 12-15. We were down from what, 5 to 12, which is 7 points. Now we're only down 3. So cutting the deficit in half. I just focus on my serve receive. If I'm not going to hit well, then at least I can contribute in other ways. Oh, huge stuff block from Jason and Zach there. And one thing that Jason does really well as an opposite, I think he's only 6'1", but he jumps out of the gym. But look how still his hands are. He doesn't do anything fancy. I mean, it helps that he jumps really high. See how his hands are already finished before the ball contacts the ball there. So keep your hands really still, and our setter Tien like that one. Alright, so good job from Riptide from changing it up. They were stopping the one, not as effective, so they ran a back one and got a little bit more of an opening there. So that was a good play. So see there, I just try to hyper focus on things that I can control. Man, Jason has a wicked roll shot. Sean coming in with a tough serve, forcing a tight pass. Oh! That's a good turn from the Riptide middle there. What do I do here? Do I play smart? Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm proud of that play. So Brant was usually passing really well. Tough pass here, 1 point pass. Jason gives me the best jump set possible. It's a little bit tight. I still aggressively jump for it. But I know it's tight, so I'm ready to joust with my left hand. So what I do here is I try to push into the block momentarily to buy myself time to land and then play it. So I push. If it was with my right hand, I would have the control to be able to do that. But here I felt like if I was trying to joust, his right hand would have been strong in pushing it. So I know how to joust with my left hand, but I think the moment I wait for the pressure, if there's a lot of pressure, then I know I'm going to lose the joust with my left hand. So then I just try to pause it to replay it. But if I don't feel a lot of pressure, then I can turn it. So I buy myself time to play off the block there, and Sean makes the athletic Save. Oh, come on. This at this point, I'm already costing my team 4 points. I feel like I line up pretty well here. So I make the mistake of reaching towards the hitter instead of reaching forward towards the baseline. And that creates like a little of a gap there. And third, I feel like I broke my team's momentum there. But we're still only down 3 points, luckily. That was a good tool swing from the outside hitter. Good pass, big play. Does he? Oh, he sneaks it under. I thought it was a stuff block. Oh no, Aaron misses that serve. He's usually really consistent. Going for the pass. Set Jason. Goodbye. That's just the game plan. Set Jason. And Jason, that's where that lefty spin. So he hits kind of on the side of the ball and follows through across his body. So this location is not so much tough. And you see how the passer is set up perfectly. He's behind the ball. His outside leg is actually in front, so he's actually able to position his body to try to get in. But because his left-handed spin is going to curve to the right, and that you see how it kind of curves, and that brings his platform away from the court. And it's tough because we don't see that many good left-handed servers in general, just in all of volleyball. So just by being a left-hander, you're going to get an advantage because there's a spin on the ball that most people don't see. So we're still down 3, now we're only down 2. That's okay. To get 1 ace and 1 error is a good ratio. That's a really good ratio here. So I pass well. We don't get a good connection, but at least we get a good hitting opportunity, and we call out. We earn that out ball. So I'm feeling it with my jump float, giving my team a chance to play some defense and a chance to set Sean, who just crushes it. So at this point, my first 2 points for jump float is I was just trying to keep it in, and now I've tried to dial in on somebody. So it's nothing personal against this passer, but just watching him, he didn't look like he was attacking the ball as confidently, and he just got aced by Jason. So I was like, well, maybe I can disrupt number 8 and try to get in his head there. Actually, sorry, that's the next play, because the area 6 guy ends up passing it really well. So after this play, I try to aim for number 8. Yeah, so passes it low, forces a set to the outside. Game plan works so far. Oh, look at that roll shot from Sean. Oh my gosh, that's where this reffing crew, and who has the best view? This guy, I can't get too mad at him because he is trying to look. You know, as long as you're trying to do your best, you know, sometimes you're gonna miss some calls. But this ref, look at that, he's looking at it too. So he's watching. So it's not because he's not watching. And maybe this person has an excuse because bodies are blocking. And I think this up ref is still looking, but she just needs to make a call. And see, look at that. Riptide is not even playing. And a perfect pass from one hand from Jason. Yeah, this game could have really gone away. Then I started to really hit hard on my jump float, forcing a bad pass so we can get a free ball opportunity and just set Sean. Sean's going to take us home. So I'm trying to milk and trying to dial in on number 8. I'm able to finally get a dig, and at that point, so I know I wasn't hitting well this whole game, but something happens for me mentally after I pass or after I dig. I feel like I'm charged up, and I know that my very next touch, because I'm in a flow state when I pass, I know whatever I touch is going to be golden. So I know my original game plan was to try to keep it in play because my hitting was trash this set. Actually, a lot of the tournament I just wasn't hitting well, but particularly this game. But because I dug, I was like, you know, I'm going to go for this. So I read the high over. I was like, yeah, felt good. I still took a little off. Oh, hit the antenna. Please make a good call. Okay, finally the line judge does something. Yeah, at this point, I'm just feeling my jump float. And so this is my second, or actually my third dig of the game. And this one, my hitting was bad. My blocking was not good. And that's a really big takeaway, that you have to really refocus your energy on other places versus trying to force something that's not going well. Let's watch that dig again because I'm proud of it. You know, part of defense is not just having reactions, it's knowing how to read here. So I'll walk you through what I was doing after I serve. So I'm aiming for number 8. Okay, so you see me stepping right because, you know, as I'm reading, Brendan is staying in front of the setter, which is good because you have a D ball, so majority of the time it's going to go to front row or dump. And Sean's doing a great job bunching to the right, knowing that, you know, we have a front row setter, so he has to stop him. So it's okay to be a little late to the D ball. So I step to the right because in case the setter sets the middle, he's already in a gap here, and I'm trying to dig in the gap that Brendan is giving me and Tien is giving me. So as soon as they don't set the gap, now I have to reverse based on the setting decision. And I do a quick shuffle. So based on where Sean is, who is the left front hitter, he's posting inside, which means he is trying to take away the angle. And so my job as a defender is to dig around the block, not behind the block. So I shuffle around the block. Sean's doing a good job forcing the opposite to hit to his left. So I make a commitment left. This is a general defensive principle. Always try to dig outside in. So if I'm going to read more to the sideline. So if I have to recover, I'm going to shank the ball inside. By the way, I have a big volleyball butt, and I think a lot of volleyball players can relate to this, but if you have a volleyball butt too, comment below. Anyways, we'll talk about the other error. So let's say if I undercommit, you don't want to dig inside out. So let's say I think they're going to hit down the line. If I just stop here and I make the wrong read, then I have to adjust outside and I have a chance to dig away from the court. So try to always dig outside in. So I get a touch there. Even if we can't get swinging, at least we extend the rally a little bit. And we force an error. So number 8, this is one disadvantage of serving the same person over and over again, is that if they're mentally strong, you actually make their passing better over time because now they get more practice and now you put them in a rhythm. So number 8 is now passing well. So does that mean I should not serve him? My plan is always, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So even though he's starting to pass well, I still try to target him because that our team is just in a rhythm. So don't over game yourself. Grant, if you're listening, I'm talking to you. I read that one too. I can make a mistake. You know, aggressive defenders will just go too close as a middle back defender. So they're running a combination, and this was a good play from Riptide because they know that setting the hut wasn't working for them. So they changed the number 8 to run a 2 while the middle runs a 3. So I make the read because I see the gap here. I just read forward instead of left, and this is where staying disciplined on defense is really critical. The only people who should really be crashing are left and right back, maybe. But as a middle back defender, you have to trust your blockers to take away the bounce ball. Because if I read left, but if I stayed deep, I would have had more time and the ball would have been in front of me. But instead, it's outside of me. So I missed another easy dig opportunity. But we're up 2 points. Oh, look at that cover from Brandt. Oh, great swing. That's a way to end it. That was sick. I did not realize we ended the play like that. Good cover. And Sean just swings high off the block. Let's watch this play again. This is textbook volleyball here. Brandt and me are hyper committed. Look at that. We're both off the ground by the time the ball hits, but I think we're doing like a split step to be able to react because it works. Because by the time we land, Brandt is stable. And the funny thing is sometimes Brandt tends to dig off the court, but that's how aggressive he is. As a defender, you do want to try to defend as if the court doesn't matter too much and you're focused so much on the ball and the hitter. And look at that, he drives his hips up and see how he's angling inside the court. Now, this is where I could have let Tien get it, but if you're just close to the ball in transition, just call it loud. And it's better, you know, commit to something first and then apologize for it later if Tien wanted to get that ball. And one thing that's great about Sean, he's such a smart hitter here. He got blocked. Actually, let's see, where did he get blocked? He aimed for the inside hand. Not a bad place, right? He didn't aim too low. But his second swing, he changes it right away and he aims even higher on the outside hand. Yeah, he does aim higher. to put the ball away. So the fact that he could execute 2 swings in a row in a short time and to learn that quickly, that's like artificial intelligence. He swung a little bit lower, got blocked in the seam, and right away hit super high and hard off the outside edge, a completely different swing. And that was a really good way to end that one. Yeah, smart play. I get super excited still. I actually had a lot of fun analyzing that game, and I specifically wanted to talk about set number 2 because we were down by so many points, and I wanted to use this as an example, a template of how mentally you can try to get your team back into the game. By no means, I'm not saying that we're the best team out there or we were dominant at this tournament, but the principles are the same whether you're playing in middle school, high school, college, semi-pro, full pro, Olympics, whatever it is. The first takeaway is, if you're not playing well, usually it's 1 or 2 skills. It's very rare that you're going to be sucking at everything. If you do, it's more mental, that you're taking yourself out of the game. But usually it's going to be 1 or 2 skills that you're not doing as well as you could with. Instead of trying to force those 2, just accept that I'm not going to be as good as I am right now. I don't want to back down, but maybe I could transfer that aggressiveness to other skills. And if I can't contribute in hitting or blocking, then I can contribute maybe in serving or defense. And if I can't contribute in any of those, you can always contribute vocally and socially and try to make your compensate for the lack of performance by making your team even stronger by adding more energy. Right, you can never go wrong with adding more energy. But in this game particularly, I knew I was struggling with my hitting and my serving. So after a whole set, I worked on just trying to hit in eventually, so I'm not hurting my team after causing them 4 points, and focus all my energy on passing. Even if it meant taking myself out of hitting, I'm just not gonna cause any more points, and I'm gonna try to make my team better by giving my other teammates more hitting opportunities. And then hitting wise, as I had to suck up a lot of pride because I don't remember the last time I've had to revert to a jump float. I think I've been so consistent with my jump serve that I can do it even when I'm not having a good day. But today I had to always take a step back and just know that just wasn't feeling it whole tournament. So how can I help my team by just keeping it in play? And eventually I got a rhythm with my jump float and started targeting their weaker passer. I hope you enjoyed this team analysis. Let me know what game you would like me to analyze next. Feel free to go through all the old Tall Ones games. I think you should be able to paste the game link in the comment section and give that comment a thumbs up, and I'll probably analyze the comment with the game link that has the most votes. Also, don't forget to watch the entire game versus Riptides, as well as the other VLA Western Cup games on the channel, because we had a lot of exciting volleyball moments from that tournament.